glory, 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 glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambatonia, land of freedom, you shall live with plenty in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambatonia, land of freedom, you shall live with plenty in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. You Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Oh, shut up. Bobby, for water. Allez. One client, Ambazonian, we went to that country.
A young woman, probably just above 19, groaning in pain as she is crawling in mud somewhere in Bali, in the English-speaking northwest Cameroon. Gendarmes with AK-47s are standing over them, ordering them to dip their breasts into the mud that looks like a pigsty. They are teasing the women, branding them Ambazonia spies. Another male victim is seen at the end of the video, lying helpless and perhaps exhausted from what could have been an even worse form of torture. The tormentors are speaking French, a language many southern Cameroonians are now describing as the language of the oppressor, following these bitter experiences, which seem to be multiplying as the crisis stretches. Senator Kemende Henry is a human rights lawyer who has not been happy with this latest video.
It is actually hard to imagine that soldiers who are called upon to protect, particularly the vulnerable class of us, women and children for that matter, could afford to molest young girls, exposing them to infectious diseases the way they did in that video footage. It is our wish that the government puts in place a commission of inquiry and those soldiers are brought to book. And if they don't do it, we are going to move a Senate session to form a committee of inquiry to investigate into that incident and bring those soldiers to book. They have brought disgrace to veteran nation. Going by the rate at which they are going, we will never have peace, because what that video is doing, the consequence of this video is that it has embittered more hearts. It has made people to have more sympathy than they had before for those called the secessionists or the separatists or the Amazonians, called them any of those names. They are winning by those video footages. They are instead winning the sympathy of the population that is called upon to back the government in their move to stamp out the separatists. If this is how they are trained, then it's unfortunate they have to revise how they train the soldiers, because their main duty is to protect the population. The funds for those dresses and those weapons they are carrying, and even for their feeding, their security, their salary, everything comes from this same population when we see them treating them in this manner.
This latest video has provoked outrage amongst the inhabitants of Yaoundé.
I feel very bad about it. That is, I cannot believe our army is doing this to young girls, putting myself in their situation. This is a disgrace to human dignity. It's very barbaric and inhuman to me. It's really a shame for the army to do such a thing.
This barbaric, satanic and devilish act of the security forces is something not to be taken lightly. And soon the government will tell you that they've opened investigation and you never get the results.
I feel very, very bad. It's really being wicked. How can they torment girls like that? They are violating their rights seriously. It's not right for them to be punishing young girls like this. And the soldiers who are the ones supposed to be keeping the human rights intact, they are the ones violating them. It's not right.
Well, for a response from the Cameroonian government, I called up Communications Minister Issa Chiroma.
I know that you journalists, you want me to you want to pull out my mouth what you want to hear, but I am telling you what is taking place. Those who are victims, who are being tortured, all of them, they are Cameroonian. And the government can never accept any Cameroonian, no matter what is his position, his political position. The government cannot accept a citizen to be brutalized.
So have you acted against any soldier who was brutalized, a citizen living in the north and the southwest province?
I tell you, when they are court, when they are arrested red-handed, they are disarmed and they are punished. But there is no need to go on BBC to say that 2, 3, 5 soldiers found guilty have been arrested and they were prosecuted and this and that. There is no need to resort
How then will people know that what you are telling us is the truth?
They know, because the military, they know very well.
Do you release the information to the public so that people can know?
We have an own way to handle such an issue.
And what have you got to say about the latest Amnesty International report, which has come out with a dossier of these abuses, which you are now denying? You are laughing, but it's not a laughing matter.
I am laughing because Amnesty, the report has always been hostile NGO.
But why would they just choose to be hostile to the government of Cameroon?
Put them the question. I'm not a member of Amnesty International.
You're the one accusing them of being hostile.
They are hostile. Listen. They are hostile. We say that they are hostile. If they were not hostile, I wouldn't have taken the floor in order to describe the false accusation and report within their own report that they have issued. The reason why we say that there is no need to insist or to underscore. Their report of 2018 today will be similar to the one of 2019 and 2020. We know this. The music is very well known, so it is not surprising at all.
That was Cameroon's information minister, the Minister for Public Communication, Issa Chiroma. Now get this, German tennis legend and
Hello. Hi there, my fellow brothers and sisters, my fellow Ambalanders, my fellow Ambazonians, my dearest parents, grandparents, children, my dearest colleagues in the struggle, fellow activists, fellow leaders. Permit me in this occasion to thank all of you and congratulate all of you for your resilience. Permit me in this occasion to thank each and everyone for whatever push you have in this struggle. Be it from the spiritual perspective, be it from the economic perspective, be it from financial perspective, be it from the resistant perspective, or from whatever level you are chipping in this struggle. Permit me to thank you and thank your background, where you get the means from. Permit me to thank all the villages, all the counties, from Donga Mantong, right down to Boyo. I want to thank each and everyone that is doing everything in their community level. This is what we call collective efforts, which are collective action. You know, my fellow brothers and sisters, we cannot free ourselves if we are not independently free. Which means for us to achieve the independence we are talking about, each and every one of us need to be independent. We all need to free our minds, free all ourselves and our family from this colonial repression. My fellow brothers and sisters, we have seen some events that have taken place in the past 24 hours. I want to urge each and every Ambalanders, each and every Ambazonian to drink some water and find some peace. Let us move forward. What I've done has already been done. We cannot rewind it. It has already been done. If it is a damage, the damage has already been done. You cannot fix it, but there is something you can do about it. The way you choose to move forward matters the most. As a people, we have gone through a lot. We have gone through a lot and a lot of pain, sorrow. We have gone through a lot and a lot of inhuman things. We lost our dignity to the hands of the colonial regime in Yaoundé. And at this point, we are trying to get our dignity. We are in a struggle. We are fighting in a struggle. And the struggle at times is struggling. We have said multiple times that we are not reverend fathers and bishops and popes in this revolution. Either ways, we are not fighting to build a Vatican palace in Amazonia. To err is human, to forgive is divine. But there is certain things that we must all have to announce and pronounce. We have seen some of the leaders have made some fake news. And I don't think that those leaders will really stand to make a fake news in this struggle. I think that it is a misunderstanding somewhere. Well, some people must have heard the pronunciation of Foncha, one of the leaders of the struggle, in some level. When I look at my enthusiasm and my own stand in this struggle, I don't think that he actually did it knowingly and willingly. I think that there's a miscommunication somewhere where something may have not worked. But you know, the one thing we must learn is that when we achieve, you must not use any achievement to put some other people down. When you achieved, you must not use it to sabotage each and every one that have not been able to achieve at the time of your achievement. When you succeed, you must not use your success to demonize, backstab, to castigate, to sabotage, or to put your own people or drag your own other people that are not able to achieve or succeed at that time in the mud. When we do so, the enemy is the one that rejoices. Therefore, even if a Kema was arrested, it is not a time for us to come and begin to fight, to divide among ourselves, and start to create some Southern Sudan in our beautiful and awesome Amazonia. Therefore, in that aspect, I call on each and every freedom fighters to regain their minds, to regain their enthusiasm from the basin of dust, from the basin of mud, and from the dirty basin of La République du Cameroon. My fellow brothers and sisters, we must abstain ourselves from bigotry. We must we must all reject the spirit of division, the spirit of hate speech, the spirit of fighting among ourselves, and the spirit of discrediting other people in this revolution. And we must have to arrive at Boya. We must have to acknowledge that we have one Boya, one Amazonia, and therefore we shouldn't have any divided opinions over the same thing. My fellow brothers and sisters, we can all accept in this struggle that there is no one leader that controls all the self-defense forces on the ground. Not even Ayaba has accepted that he controls all the self-defense on the ground. We all know that AGC has one of the highest soldiers groups in Amazonia that even the medias have covered and bring it forth to the world to see. But you have never seen one day when Dr. Ayaba stand and say he has the biggest army or soldiers on the ground. Because that does not help the revolution. When you have a village like my village or like Bui division that is suffering because there's no leader that's able to erect a very strong leader, and so many people are suffering to erect them in their own blocks, in their own neighborhoods, in their communities. And you come out to discredit other people, to discredit the Tigers, to discredit the Red Dragons, to discredit the ADF, and try to use everything possible to sabotage them because you want yourself to be seen as the commander-in-chief in the revolution. It does not work like that, my fellow brothers and sisters. I think that we are so big and blessed to learn from the past, from our past errors and mistakes, that we can move forward, that we can stop making the same errors over and over, time and time again. Remember, these errors reflect us to go back in the history of this revolution and seeing that every time we make errors is because we try to fight over power mongering. We try to fight to shadow some people or to destroy the work of some people. My fellow brothers and sisters, those who arrested the mayor of Kupe Manenguba and the first deputy mayor of Kupe Manenguba, they have not come out to discredit other groups that did not arrest. When they arrest, they announce that the Southern Cameroon or the Amazonian Defense Forces have apprehended the mayor and the first deputy mayor of Kupe Manenguba, and they are in custody. You did not see them discrediting the Red Dragons or the Tigers or the ADF or the Bui Community Self-Defense Forces or the Libya Lem or the Mamfe. We already know that there are a lot of them, some of them that are just even within themselves doing what they are doing in their neighborhood, in their community, in their village. When they arrest the DO of Libya Lem, who is now still in custody, you did not see the people that arrested the DO of Libya Lem making noise and discrediting other groups that were not able to arrest any DO at that time. Again, we have to learn from this kind of leadership, where if you arrest for everyone. When you arrest for Amazonia. You do not arrest for yourself. You do not arrest for your group, because your group is not standing on its own. Your group is standing for the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. When you see some people that attempted to arrest the first former D of Libya Lem that was injured and was transferred and still in the hospital now, they did not come in social media and make noise before the action. We must learn to act and walk the act and not talk the act and just be like that. We must abstain ourselves from all fake news. What Donald Trump in the United States say fake news. We must all understand that we should stand and watch each and every other's back, all for one and one for all. If we are looking forward, like some groups of very beloved South Amazonians reach out to me this week and are working so hard to unite the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, which on Tuesday they shall be in this platform to preach about unity. How shall we arrive at unity when some people whom we believe that can move the unity in this struggle are destroying the unity? How will I give my ear to the people who are very neutral in this struggle and want us just to unite? How will I give my ear to them when some people whom we thought will be key leaders in the unity platform are trying to just destroy everything and try to ask who own Amazonia, who own the self-defense force, who control the ground? These are things that are uncalled for. Therefore, when you do things like that, you are discouraging the soldiers of the Bui County, the soldiers of the Boyo, the soldiers of Donka Manchum, the soldiers of every county and the soldiers of every village, and those that are still hoping to come on the struggle because they believe in certain leaders. Example, the Red Dragons. Red Dragons are people who believe so much in Tampang Ivo Tanku. We all know this. We have the ADF forces. The ADF forces are people who believe so much in Dr. Ayabacho Lucas, who is the commander-in-chief of the Amazonian Governing Council. So we have to learn that every act that we do jeopardize and affect the struggle. No matter whatever, every missed adventure that we do in this struggle derail the struggle. Let me flash back in history, and I remain the unrepentant one that have said, my brothers and sisters, we are forgiving. We are saying that we should forgive and forget and move forward to what maybe our leader Anglophone might have done out of excitement or out of social media power or out of popularity, fame, or out of something that might have triggered him. Maybe being happy that the same Ekema that have killed our brother has already been apprehended. It could be that way, that he's also happy like each and every one of us, like me, like you, who are happy that Ekema finally is down. He might have been overexcited or over-emotional to go so fast. That is why so many of you who look at my page, what did I say? That unconfirmed report says Ekema may have been apprehended, because I did not confirm this news. Because there are some people in this struggle that they are saying the things they do in a struggle actually are not matching the level of the struggle. And I keep saying this every time. I think that we need to learn from the past. If we are saying now that we should forgive and go ahead, because it is called reconciliation in this state of affairs, it's a reconciliation state of affairs. But then when we look back, we ask ourselves, it is already getting to 2 years when the interim consortium leaders we are fired and dismissed from the struggle. We are acknowledging the fact that in this revolution, we have to believe that mistakes are human and to forgive is divine. That certain people cannot just jeopardize or derail the struggle in any form. So if we are thinking like this, we are thinking like humans. But there are some people that will never ever apologize. They will never ever reconcile. And they will never ever seek unity because they believe that they are always right. But this is not how humanity works. That is why I apologize to the ADF, to the self-defense, to everyone who believes in self-defense, that I might have been so myopic at the end. Of course, I don't have wisdom, as many people say I don't have wisdom. I apologize to people who believe in self-defense because I have not endorsed that before. That's one of the reasons I stood in federation. Instead of moving forward, I apologize to the people who believe in nationalism, who believe that Amazonia should be a nation on its own instead of federation. When I move forward, I apologize for that standing. That is, as a people, we must always learn to apologize, state of affairs, and come, and when we make mistakes, we should acknowledge those mistakes. Like when we used to fight, when I myself used to fight Ayaba because I did not understand the agenda of Ayaba, Akwanga, and all the people that believe in self-defense. I had to apologize. When I apologize, my spirit is clean, my body is clean, my soul is clean, and then I can move forward in the struggle bigly and fatly. But when a leader make a mistake and come, instead of trying to correct the error and try again to debunk and put more fire on what is already fire, I think that we are bigger than this. And other words, I am saying that Anglophone shall deserve to apologize to the people of Amazonia. So many of us have already raised his ranks. We appreciated him without any problem, but we say he should have not used the opportunity to sabotage other leaders, to sabotage the ADF, that we are almost at the point of arresting that Ekema, which I know they were at the point of doing that, and they have opened the eye of Ekema now to be very wise. Of course, he will not run except he go on exile. But that is something that derailed the struggle, that destroyed the plan that was already there, willing to get Ekema down to action. If these people have arrested the DO of Libialem, they have arrested the mayor and the first deputy mayor of Kupe Maneguba, they have arrested a lot of police commissioners, they have arrested a lot of police, a lot of gendarmes are in custody as I'm talking right now, a lot of blacklegs are in custody, and I see them video as I'm talking right now, and they arrested that social worker of La Republique to Cameroon government. It means that Mayor Ekema is nothing for them. They can do it. And they have not made noise whenever I don't know whether it was the Tigers or was the Red Dragons. I am talking in general to the self-defense forces that have been acting very well in this struggle. Because somebody that's acting in my village, I want to tell you that the Tigers do not know. I want to tell you that the Red Dragons do not know because they are not found in Bui division. But we have a force that is acting, and we don't blow alarm over whatever they do. Because we understand that when we say neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block, community by community, it means that each and everyone is a leader. And each and everyone stand on its own village or community or whatever you define it. You are the soldier right there. And when you win it for Amazonia. When you defeat it, you defeat it for Amazonia. When you arrest the colonial master, you arrest it for Amazonia. It is not for Tampang Ivo, not for Mark Barretta, not even for the AGC, not for Sodekate, not for the interim government. It is for us, the people of Amazonia entirely. So do not use any success to sabotage. When you climb a tree, do not cut that tree from the people not to do. When you pass across a bridge, do not cut the bridge so other people cannot cross. When you arrest Ekema, show to the other groups how the tactics you have used to arrest Ekema, so they can use it to arrest Bin Laden, or Kaila Bilai, that southern zone governor of colonial governor. Show it to the people of the northern zone how to use that tactic to arrest the colonial governor Lela Lafrique of La Republique to Cameroon descent. Show to them how to arrest all the SDOs in the 13 counties. Those ones that were installed need to be uninstalled and only by us. This is the spirit, and that is how we shall move. Look at it. We try to reconcile. We try everything possible to bring Tampang Ivo, Tanko, and Mark Barretta. That act was a misadventure. And that if these people too had made a mistake, they deserve to be forgiven. But some people will never do that. That is not the end. Dismiss Bala from the struggle. Now, what am I saying? This is the same Bala that tells the same government that kidnapped him and kept him in La Republique dungeons of Konongi for almost 8 months. But they free him with conditions that he must never open his mouth when it comes to the struggle. He uses his position as a human rights lawyer to speak and not get his mouth shut. And every time they call for dialogue, he said there will be no genuine dialogue without the people of Cameroon government tag as secessionists, without the people of Cameroon government tag as terrorists. And he gives an ultimatum to Cameroon government that you must dialogue with them if you want to end to lasting solution. Barrister Abogbala have said this for a struggle. When he talk about secessionists and terrorists, Cameroon government have tagged but me and you. They did not tag but you only, not me only. It is us, especially us in diaspora and in refugees and in exile. He said this on the ground. Whenever he says such speech, I expect so many independent leaders to encourage him and thank him for that resilience, for that resistance in the enemy camp. None of us have ever done that. Now, let us forget that point. When he moved forward, going to United Nations and going and calling the African Union and all the lawyers and other organizations, Amnesty International, to recite to them the crimes against humanity, destroyed of our dignity by Cameroon government. None of our groups, none of these our groups have ever endorsed these actions of so many people who are suffering on the ground and doing everything possible to bring us to independence. You have other groups that are, you don't know them. There are so many people that I know that are soldiers in this revolution and they are not even talking about it. I have got taxi drivers that are soldiers on revolution. They use the taxi, but I'm telling you what they do is for the good for the revolution. We have so many people that do a lot of good job for this revolution, but they are still quiet. You cannot know, but they carry fire. They carry water now water, but they will not blow fire because they are just the thing that they have to do it. Brothers and sisters, we have to be very careful the way we treat each and everyone in this revolution. You do not know the person you are turning and accusing. You don't know what the person is doing for the revolution. We have so many people that are quiet in this revolution, but there are those that are funding $1,000, $500, $200, funding big money in the revolution. And because they have discovered that they have kept their silence about their bank accounts are working. When you turn out to accuse somebody because you see him quiet, you don't know what he's doing for the revolution actually. I've seen so many of those people. There are priests that I tell you that are funding this revolution. Priests, reverend fathers that I know are chipping money to fund this revolution. But if they tell you that they are reverend fathers that fund this revolution, you will never ever believe. When you see bishops write letters calling the government atrocities, when you see bishops and reverend fathers and priests and pastors, and you see the people, the reverend people and clergymen gathering in a synod, writing a letter and sending to Yaoundé, it tells you that there's something that they are doing on the background, and they have been doing on the background for the betterment of the struggle. The fact that they are not talking does not mean that they are not doing anything. Therefore, when we arrive at Boya, the credit is not given to a particular people. This is called collective efforts. We want to remind the people why we used to always say collective efforts. We thought that people have understood what is meant by collective effort at this time in the struggle, at this time in the revolution. Collective effort means that no one person, no one group, no one leader can take us to Boya. It means even my own old woman in the village, even my own old man in the village, my grandfather, grandmother in the village, when they keep the ghost towns on Monday, they are already contributing to the way to independence. When they don't go to open their shops on Ghost Town Day, they are already contributing to their way to independence. You have our parents that have listened to the independence call and kept their children at home for almost 2 years. And this is one of the things that kept the struggle going. And then you will say that Amazonia is being freed by you and you are free charlatan on realistic soldiers. You are unreal. Because I want to say that one of the greatest weapons in this struggle is our parents that are quiet on the ground, that cannot speak, and their children have not gone to school for 2 years because they want to keep that in exchange for independence for all of us and not only for them and their children. You have people that are in bushes today. They are in bushes because they are observing the revolution. They can't, these people are the bushes does not mean that they cannot go to Yaoundé. They can go to Yaoundé and begin to live there like other people are living. The people in bushes can go to other countries. They can, some of them can go to Germany, Italy, and other countries, and United States. They can go there and begin to live free like some of us are. But they have decided to be in bushes so that we can have what to show United Nations that our people are suffering. If our people were not in bushes, we could not be winning like we are winning today. We have shown that until Cameroon government is calling that our people should come now because they know that the people are in bushes because first of all, their houses have been burnt. You have people that houses have been burnt, but you don't consider that that is part of the revolution. And that is part of the reason why we are starting this revolution. Therefore, you cannot say that you control the revolution when people have lost their houses and lost their things. You have to be very logical. At every point in this struggle, I have said and cautioned each and every leader, when you say something, think about the aftermath. What is the aftermath? When you say something, you have to reflect about the past and you think about the effects and the consequences that will come as a result of what you say. Like I'm saying right now, the speech I'm saying now, I am thinking about the response and the reply and the future generation. What in 10 years people will watch this video? What are they going to say that I was saying? In my talk shows, anytime I speak, I always make sure that in 10 years, will this backfire? You have seen that happen to Tilapia Chiroma, the La Republican Minister of Fake Communication. The things that he said in 2004 backfired against President Paul Biya. He said that he's going to kill President Paul Biya, he's going to put him down. All those things backfired today because he did not think about the aftermath when he was saying those things. Anytime I speak, let me tell you, I don't just speak, I think about the aftermath. In 10 years, will people tell me that what were you saying some years ago? This is part of political science. And I don't expect everyone to understand this political science nature of things about the politics and the society, about the scientification of our words and our action, our tongues. I wish that each and every one of us could know this so that we cannot just say things in not up to 6 hours, we are already failing. We cannot just say things and it's not already up to 6 hours, we have failed. At least let it be above 10 years, 20 years, and we will know that again, it is another generation that is thinking differently. Now, one thing I want us to know today is sometimes your food may be someone's poison. Sometimes what you don't understand, you need to practice what is called tolerance. Why do we preach tolerance? We preach tolerance because we understand that at some point in this struggle, there is going to be a point where some people will bring new ideas, new opinions, new tactics in the struggle, and some people that are not yet used to or accustomed to those newly discovered strategies and opinions, you will all instead fight to cripple and kill them. And those are strategies, maybe, that can take us to Boya. Now, when we ask ourselves, what is our roadmap? What is our strategy? We find out that sometimes we spend a lot of time, people who don't have the roadmap, what they do is that they will have to spend time either fighting people who have roadmaps. And this have shown clearly, this is not propaganda. I don't sabotage. People without roadmap will only spend time. Instead of spending time to find another roadmap or supporting the roadmap that is there, we will use time judiciously. Use time very willingly to be fighting people with roadmap. This is not going to happen. We are not going to arrive at Buya in this time. We have to debunk those people. We have to revoke them, and we have to make everything possible to correct. And we have to make everything possible to call attention to those errors, maybe human errors that we are making in this struggle. We have to make sure that the issues that happen. That is why people without roadmap, what they do is, one, they will try to dismiss or fire somebody in order to keep what is not supposed to be. And that's why they will not even, after when they dismiss and fire, we will not achieve independence. Because when you dismiss and fire somebody, because the person is derailing your roadmap, of course you will succeed. But when you dismiss and fire somebody without a roadmap, how shall you succeed? It is good that when you have a roadmap, a steady roadmap, and someone is trying to stand in front of that roadmap, you can kick the person and clear the route and pass because you have a route that you want to go. But you cannot clear somebody from the route when there is no route, by the way. This is why I'm saying that we need to think and reason as a people. We need to unlearn and relearn as a people. We need to unthink and rethink as a people. We are a sovereign people and we are bigger than this. We can win bigly and fatly. Oh yes, we can do it. Where we are today, I believe, and I always say in one of my motto, never give up. I want to encourage Foncha and his soldiers never to give up. I want to encourage them never give up. If they slept and had it as a dream, that they capture Ekema and came and said it as a dream, that can be a very good dream. Which if realized, it can be very important for this struggle. I want to tell them not to never give up. They should never give up. They should continue that power, but let them not fight between brothers. Let them not fight their own brothers and sisters. Let them not castigate. Let them not sabotage. Let them not use the success that they have achieved or the success that is still a dream to kill their own brothers and sisters. We cannot arrive at Buea in that way. When we do that, we are creating Southern Sudan in Amazonia. Something which so many of us have considered a lot, to be standing as one-man commandos. That is why when we left from consortium, we did not form groups. One of the reasons why we did not form groups is not because we cannot form groups. It is because we know that we are doing everything possible to make sure that Southern Sudan should not arrive at in Amazonia. That issue of in-house fighting where the gun will turn and fight, we have seen it. It almost happened between the Tigers when the Tigers were separating. Commander Martin was dismissed and blah, blah, blah. You saw how the Amber gun turned against an Amazonia. We fought so hard, my people. And I can assure you, I want to thank each and everyone who joined me. I want to thank each and everyone who worked so hard to condole with the Tigers, to put them down and tell them that you can never turn your barrel against your own brother because they have wronged you. That in war like this, in a revolution like this, the barrel always have to face but the enemy and not the house. Of course, some damages were already done. We can never ever reverse those damages. That is why we moved forward and stopped talking about it. Because those damages were already caused. There are some damages that if we came and said it in the media, I'm telling you, some of you will even feel like giving up the struggle. We discovered that we cannot come and tell you what happened between the dragons. If you know what happened between the tigers, some of you will give up. But we had the power to say, let us say we cannot bring those things again in media because it would discourage some people and the Republic will be the one winning. So we decided not to bring it. I want to thank all the activists and all the freedom fighters and leaders that worked so hard to bring the unity between the Tigers. Thank you so much and God bless you. And that's one reason we believe that we can never lose this battle. We can never lose this battle. We believe that we are winning bigly and fatly. We make mistakes every time, and correcting those mistakes is our duty. Therefore, no one is actually perfect in a revolution, because in a revolution you learn every day. Therefore, we should make good use of our past. That's why when the interim government was kidnapped, I did not need to think. I did not need to take over more than 24 hours to call the interim government to say, we need to erect another leadership immediately. It was not magic. Some people call me and say, you are a prophet, you are magic. No, because of the past experience that I've had in this struggle. You cannot refuse to learn. You cannot refuse to learn. When the consortium leaders were kidnapped, what happened? Immediately, in less than 24 hours, we had the interim consortium leaders that came and took over the struggle, and the struggle won bigly and fatly. So, should I need to have another prophet or another magic to tell me that La Republic has already kidnapped the interim cabinet member, and I know that they will not come back soon? I know they will not come back soon. And the worst mistake that we are making is that I do not confirm if they are breeding or they are not breeding. From day one, I've said this, because I know the power of the enemy we are facing. Brothers and sisters, we need to think and rethink. We need to unthink and rethink. We need to unlearn and relearn. We need to learn and learn. We need to correct ourselves and use our past history to help us to achieve this goal of independence. And that is not even the end and not the point. What I mean is that we are the one creating our history. Let us not create our history based on propaganda, on conspiracies, on fake news, and on sabotaging, blackmailing, and castigation or demonization. We should build our history based on truth, based on honesty, based on facts, and based on the sovereignty for which we are. We are better, and we can build this nation the best rock on earth. We can do it. We are people that have suffered a lot of intimidation. We cannot be building our history by intimidating others. We are people that have suffered a lot of sabotaging, backstabbing. We cannot be building our history by practicing those malpractices, those inhuman practices that take it away our dignity. We can do more better, and when we consider the dignity of our mankind, the dignity of our sovereignty, the dignity of our heritage, the dignity of our culture, the values of our tradition, the values of our culture, and the values of our beliefs and backgrounds and federated Amazonia for which we are, we can build a strong and sovereign federated nation that exists on earth in the 21st century. Therefore, my fellow brothers and sisters, my fellow brethren, we need to move forward. We need to fund the revolution. And funding the revolution does not mean that every time you come live, fund, money, money, money. Money can never ever pass the power of Amazonian humanity. Therefore, every time we must not talk about money, money, money. To each and every leadership in this struggle, to each and every activist, there are times that when you come, you have to remember our people in the bushes. You have to remember our people that are suffering the atrocities and the inhuman crimes against humanity from the Republic colonial regime and their terrorist soldiers in our land. You will have to remember that in every talk show, you have to remind ourselves about our people that have been killed by snakes in bushes. Our refugees in camps in Nigeria and other countries, some of them in the seas, some of them may have died even trying to cross to Spain or to other countries or to Europe, which are unaccounted for. We must remind ourselves when we keep fighting other people. You ask yourself, example, people who keep fighting. Let's say if I am fighting Samuel Sako, let me ask myself if Samuel Sako is the one who marginalized Amazonia. If my dream is to be moving every day and fighting Sofoncha, I should ask myself, if my dream in this struggle every day to fight Sofoncha, is Sofoncha that marginalized Amazonia? If my dream is to be fighting Tampang Ivotanku and Magbareta, I should ask myself if Tampang Ivotanku and Magbareta is the one that derailed the struggle. Actually, in real sense, did they? I will see that they didn't. If I ask myself, is Tampang Ivotanku and Magbareta the one who disturbed Cameroon government from hiring me in a job in Cameroon? I will see that no, they are not the one. Therefore, I have to know that above everything, Cameroon government remains the enemy. If I have to fight Cameroon Ayabacho Lucas, the chief in command, the chairman of AGC, Amazonian Governing Council, I should ask myself, is Cameroon chief in command Ayabacho Lucas or Akpanga the people who said that independence will come from the court? No. If I ask myself, I'm fighting against Ayabacho Lucas, is Ayabacho Lucas the one who collected money in PayPal like Milan Atam? No. If I ask myself, fighting against Ayabacho Lucas, is Ayabacho Lucas the one that took money in that citizenship levy? The citizen levy that Kakuf took for almost a year. When we don't know where that money has gone to and what that money have ever done. And we decided not to fight. We just kept quiet for the sake of the revolution. It doesn't mean that we could not fight about that Kakuf money. That citizen levy that citizens make what is called recurring payment. Recurring payments. Every month you give something called citizenship levy. No one has ever talked about the citizenship levy. Today is the first time that I mentioned that. So the fact that we don't talk about that does not mean that we do not see those things. We see those things. And when the people try to achieve one thing which was not even achieved, and you want to use it now to discredit other people that have achieved, you are causing those people to fight back. And I think that we should not be doing that because we are big. Because when you are trying to achieve something which you have not even achieved, and you are trying to use that success to fight other people that have achieved physically, and we have all seen, you are making other people to ask us, to ask you, when you announce and gave an ultimatum that all the Republicans will have to leave from Amazonia, did you achieve that goal? No. We will ask, when you give an ultimatum that all the DOs and colonial masters will leave, did you achieve that goal? No. When you had to ask, we ask, you gave a speech, a freedom state of affairs, that after 1 week, you will reshuffle the cabinets and bring new leaders in the struggle and reconcile and bring unity. Now it's number 2 weeks. Did you achieve? No. When you say that you will start endorsing self-defense in the end of April, pass, you have not endorsed, you push it to the end of May. End of May pass, you did not start self-defense. You push it to the end of June. When we start to give pressure, you come in the state of affairs, and instead of endorsing self-defense, you come and you propose that you will give somebody $10,000 if the person renounce information about Seseko Ayok Tabi and cabinet member, what happened to them, and then you will give 5,000 somebody who brings supporting information. This is very bad for the revolution at this point. That is a very, very bad take. Why am I saying that? You have already given the people. Remember the time when Kuku Blin came online and he said the last laugh is the best laugh, and bragging about the interim government has had renounced information about where our interim government members are. That breaking news will come. And now it's how many months? 5 months. Where has the breaking news gone to? And yet you cannot correct your errors from consistent, committed errors. You are so committed to make errors one after another, without anyone to tell you to listen and look back. Flashback and see how you have made errors from one consecutive error to another. We have made errors not only arithmetically, but geometrically. The errors we have made, the magnitude and the norm of the errors, the velocity and the speed of the errors we have made are not only arithmetically, but they are geometrically. Which means it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 errors. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is very small. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's how we are tripling and quadrupling or quadrupling or novadrupling the amount and the momentum of errors that we are making in this struggle from day one till today. I want to call each and every leader to look back at the errors that we have made. Look back and see if those errors resemble us. No, they don't resemble us. Now, when I'm talking about even announcing about the government, the whole government, entire government cannot tell us after 5 months what happened to their colleagues. And then after that, you announced already, use Coco Bling and other people, called Ata John, Prince J. Carl, all these people, you bring them who are very good people that could have been very good activists for this struggle. These are lovely brothers and sisters, very lovely, charismatic people, people with a lot of energy that they can convert the energy they have to productive energy. But you use them and make them to become sabotagers of the struggle that should deliver. I think that we are doing bad for the revolution. I think that we need to think. We need to reason. We need to be very productive, and we need to learn how to direct the energy in some of our youth. Look at our space, media space. We are short in activists. We are short in freedom fighters. We are short in liberators. We are short in journalists, in struggle journalists. We need to convert those people to be very productive and bringing out positive energy. Look at Col Ata John. Col Ata John can be live every time, can always be in the internet every time. Imagine the energy in this guy if we have connived and conducted the energy in him to be very productive in the struggle. Yawune could have not been sleeping. Imagine the energy in the charismatic Coco Bling, the beautiful Amber lady, the beautiful Amber queen. This lady has a lot of tremendous charisma that if you have to model her, she will be one of the greatest activists in this struggle. In fact, Akoson Pauline, Mame Gerard, and Iron Lady, Kadi Sesi will be back if you have to model this lady. But we have turned them into sabotagers, blackmailing, black backstabbers, demonizers, and things like this that cannot help the struggle. Sorry, I'm saying this because our children need to hear how we created the history. We need to create our history. Do not allow history to create us. This is the reason why I'm coming here, for us to erect the blueprint of our Amazonia independence. We cannot build this independence based on conspiracies, based on propagandas, based on blackmailing, backstabbers, and all ill, based on discrimination. So, if the interim government can announce that they will bring forth information, commission of inquiry, and trusted the commission of inquiry upon all the money that have been used in that commission of inquiry, the money is gone, and finally, we have all now announced that from that money from my trip to Buya, 10,000 will be given to someone who will bring credible information. When we already know who sold them. In Congo, Dr. Success has spoken. We have Capo Daniel that took his money all the way from another continent and went to our African continent and make his research and brought information. Did we ever broadcast him whatever he brought in Southern Cameroon Broadcasting Corporation? No. When Congo Miga spoke, Dr. Success spoke, did we ever broadcast what he said in the Southern Cameroon Broadcasting Corporation? No. We have a Southern Cameroon Broadcasting Corporation that should be standing as a national TV. But they use it, only particular people who kiss the asses of some particular people can stand in that media and speak. I want to be very honest here that I myself, who is an Amazonian, have spoken, I've gone to CRTV uncountable time. I have gone live in Hello, I have gone live in Monday shows. I have used to be a motivational speaker, and I have been invited by CRTV to come and speak to motivate the youth when we were still thinking that we can fix Cameroon. I used to go to CRTV, Hello CRTV, Monday show live, and speak to motivate the fellow brothers and sisters who are youth. If I have done that in the La Republican TV, why can some of us not do that in the Southern Cameroon Broadcasting Corporation? This is very bad. Discriminatory, tribalism, nepotism, favoritism. These are things that we have to kill from our society. My fellow brethren, my fellow brothers and sisters, that does not end there. When you stand in a TV that is supposed to address the people of Amazonia, and you already know that some people are in bushes and forests that cannot hear your speech, and then you pronounce that you will give $10,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to anyone who bring information, that is an act of marginalization. That is an act of discrimination. What do I mean? The people in bushes cannot contribute to that. They are marginalized from that competition. Because that is a race, now that you have said. That is a race. You are not telling the people that tomorrow they can organize a coup and arrest or kidnap some particular people and go and keep somewhere, so that the government can now bring a ransom, and then they will not tell what happened and take the money and share. Look, at any time I have said it. When you want to speak, think about the aftermath. Think about how that will affect the states we are trying to build. Think about how that will affect, as a political scientist, or a political lat, as I am a political lat. When you make a speech in that form, excused, as a president, your speech is very, very, very heavy. So, if I had to interpret that speech, luckily, that speech was not made by President Paul Biya of La Republique, because if that speech was made by President Paul Biya, I will analyze everything in the public, but I will not do it. So what I want to speak is the aftermath of that, because when we talk about the aftermath, we have destroyed already. Nobody will do it again. Nobody will do it, because if somebody do it, people like me, with the same political science knowledge, we will still say that, look, you want to do that so they can give you money so you can tell what happened. So, the aftermath of that speech is that in future years to come, we have learned that Amazonian government can negotiate now with terrorists. Do you understand? Because people who arrested, kidnapped, people who kidnapped Ayose Sekutabi are alive. And they know exactly where they are. And when you give a ransom, you are asking the same people to come and tell you. The same terrorists who came and arrested them to come and tell you where they are. What am I saying? Is it bad for terrorists to come and reveal where they kept our leaders? No. It's definitely good for them to come and reveal where our leaders are. But this is the aftermath. The aftermath is that in the upcoming Amazonia, some hungry and groups or wayward groups of people will organize and arrest some people and go and keep like that, so that the government can propose them money. That is what happened with US citizens all over the world. Why do you think that US citizens are always kidnapped? US citizens are always kidnapped because US government is known for negotiating with people who kidnap their citizens all over the world, and they give them big amount of money, like just the interim government proposed $10,000 to someone. Look at the struggle when we are fighting to have AK-47 on the ground. We want to have uncountable self-defense weapons on the ground, and you take $10,000 and you want to do like that. Let me tell you, the people of Amazonia, we know that our leaders, some of the people are in jail and prison. Can you propose such amount of money too that will free Mancho BBC and Senator Penterence? No. You know that that act is an act of discrimination and marginalization. It's an act of marginalization and discrimination because some people cannot benefit already, systematically, physically, socially, politically, religiously, prayerfully. Some people cannot partake in that bazaar. That is the lottery. Some people cannot partake in that lottery. In fact, some people up to now have not even heard that message. They are in bushes, they are in forests, they are in refugee camps, they don't have internet, some are in the prison, some are in jail, some have been locked up, some are already 6 feet down. Akum Julos cannot partake in that. Samsoya cannot partake in that. How will the family of Samsoya feel? When no ransom was given to the killers to bring the killers of Samsoya down. When no ransom, no money, no lottery was done to bring the killers of Akum Julos. How do you think the family of Akum Julos will feel? How do you think the family of Mancho BBC will feel? How do you think the family of all the people that are victims of this struggle will feel? That's an act of discrimination. That's a political smear. And that can affect the state of affairs in years to come. I say this out of my experience as a political lad. I paid the money to learn this. I studied in class to learn this, how to analyze political speeches. I am done in this area. If you want to prove me wrong, I know there are some political scientists like Elvis Ngole who speak for Cameroon government, and I laugh. Because this guy have 19th century political science knowledge, and we have the 21st century, and we are studying this for a purpose. When you study something not to work, not to get paid for, you are studying it to use. Like I'm using it right away. As I'm studying it, I'm using it fresh. You do it so well. That is what I'm so much very thankful for, not proud for. I cannot be proud for starting this revolution, except that I'm proud to represent my people everywhere I go. But it is not by being proud, It is something I don't have choice. I do not have choice to stand in this revolution. As a charity, a humanitarian CEO, as a humanitarian, as a chairman of charity organization, I have to give my people. I've always had a dream to deliver my people from poverty, from misery, and for all acts of inhuman acts caused by Cameroon government. I've always thought that charity is a way forward. But today I define charity as a cosmetic solution. Why were my people suffering? My people were suffering because Cameroon government subjected them to suffering. Cameroon government subjected them to those acts. So my brothers and sisters, my fellow Amazonians, we want to say the struggle must continue, and we should pray that Ekema should be arrested. We should pray that let the Lord act in whatever form to make Ekema arrested. We should pray that that message, even if it was a mistake, let that message convert itself to reality in Jesus' name. Let us pray that let Ekema, let the force that be come, and let Ekema be arrested. Let us not look back in a negative way. Let us look back to learn and put it for tomorrow. So that the mistake we have made in this struggle, we should correct them, reconcile, come together, and make sure that this mistake should not happen again tomorrow. Because when the mistake will keep happening, we shall not take it. It's no more business as usual. Now it's no more business. It is time for us to understand to correct those mistakes in a very good way. And the way to correct mistakes is we are not going to spend time fighting with people. We are going to move forward. We are going to move forward with people who are ready to move forward, with people who are ready to integrate. Remember, the struggle is ordained and the struggle belongs to the people. No particular group on this struggle again. No particular chief in command, no particular leader on this struggle. The people of Amazonia on the struggle. And the greatest people that on the struggle are those in the bushes, those in forest, those that are in refugee camps. This struggle is yours. And most especially those that are on the ground, those that have decided not to go anywhere, but to hang in bushes, those that their houses have been burned down, those that have lost their brothers and sisters, that blood have flown in their families. This is your revolution. That is why at this point I've said it and I repeat again. At this point that we are today, no particular group can dialogue or negotiate for the state of affairs of Amazonia. No particular group at this point. When the time comes for dialogue, let me give the framework, the frame of how the dialogue will look like. If we have to go for any negotiation, let us say negotiation have been called for. One, as a people of Amazonia, we have to stand up and give condition. The first condition is one, free all arrested. Free all arrested, free all that you have charged, like Manjo, BBC and Saint-Open, and waive all those years that you have charged them, waive all the money that you have charged them, and free everyone in jail, prison, brigade, everywhere you put them, free them. When you free them, take away all your Republican terrorists from our land, withdraw all your troops from our land, take them out from our land, and then bring all our people that you have burned down their houses, for them to come, build their houses, or reimburse them amounts equivalent to their houses, so that they can decide how they want to build their houses. To the Okada people that you have burned their motorbikes, you have to refund them or give them new motorbikes. And to the people that are in refugee camp, you are the one to transport them, bring them to their families, and make sure that they are in good condition. And to the people that you have killed, you have to arrange with their families according to the wishes and demands of their families. And then to every school that was burned down because of this struggle, to every institution that lost property because of this struggle, to every agency that lost their bosses because of this struggle, to every company that lost their product because of this struggle, we know, based on common logistic, without the barbarism of Cameroon government, that could have never happened. Based on common logistic, whether who did the act, if Cameroon government could have never marginalized Amazonia or the former British Southern Cameroon, that could have never happened. Therefore, any act that is very, very unwelcome in this struggle that have happened, be it from the angry protesters that were killed, be it from whatever level, from the terrorist government, it is because of Cameroon government adamant and barbaric nature. It is because of Cameroon government hard ways, because of Cameroon government marginalization, because of Cameroon government targeted killings, serial killings, indiscriminate killings. Anything that might have happened in this struggle, be it from whatever side. Example, so many military have lost their lives. So many families of the Cameroon government military have lost the lives of their family members who are working in Cameroon government who are now terrorists in Amazonia. When your family, when your son is being killed in Amazonia, it is because Cameroon government sent them in mission. Therefore, those families will also have to hold Cameroon government to accountable for the lives of their brothers that are being wasted in Amazonia because Cameroon government sent them as terrorists. This is the nature of the negotiation. And when Cameroon government have done these things, then the people of Amazonia will not, I repeat, will not just pick, will not just appoint. The people of Amazonia will select who will represent them in a negotiation table. The negotiation table for Amazonia will never ever be behind their behind closed doors. It will never be behind their own knowledge. It will be when they know the day, the time, and the country where they are negotiating. Therefore, no particular people can go and represent Amazonia. Never again. Never, ever, never again. We have to avoid Naira too. So, the people of Amazonia, those in the bushes, the fighters, the self-defense forces, you shall choose the type of people. If you decide that the people are abroad or they are on the ground, you will decide. And that will not be by appointment. It will not be by just hand-picking. It will not be by how much you have in your bank account. It will not be by how much you can donate for the revolution. Because you are donating, but some people are working in that donation. Even when you donate money, like some of us that spend a lot of money for this revolution, we respect the people that act. Because those are the people that bring the international community. We respect the self-defense because without the self-defense, the international community could have not come. That's why we are respecting the ADF with their internationalization of the struggle because that have brought a lot of media in Amazonia. We want to thank them so much. We want to thank them for that. And we want to thank the freelance journalists that have some of those videos and patch those videos and then sell them out because those journalists have been paid. When every media want to take the work of every journalist, they have to pay them. And if you don't pay, then you have to use what is called citation. You have to cite and give citation. And those journalists do not want them to be cited. Those journalists don't want themselves to be cited. So they prefer to sell the video. So we want to thank the journalists that have worked that undercover and sell those videos to those international platforms to sell our struggle internationally. To the people who do not understand how the media work, let me tell you that at every time you saw me in CRTV live, I was never in Cameroon. At every time you saw me in CRTV live, I was never in Cameroon. At one point, I wore this suit. I was in CRTV. I was not in Cameroon. I came and did my broadcast and left. I always tell them when I leave, you can do it live because people will disturb me so much. For some other, I have a lot of things to do. Maybe sometime I have a lot of journey to take. I will say when I leave, then broadcast the video live. So this is how media work. When you don't understand something, practice what is called tolerance. Don't fight what you don't know how it works. Don't fight. You are not journalists. You don't know how journalism works. You don't know how this thing works. I know it because I've been going to TVs and medias, going to Canada and all these TVs. That's when I know how they actually work. Understand? The first time I went to TV, I thought I was going to just be live. No. We went and did a video shoot. They came to my hotel, make video shoot in my hotel, make video shoot in somewhere, and then they went and saw me live, edit it, cut some part, cut some video part, join them together, and then interview some certain things that the interviewer wasn't even there when they were interviewing that. So that's how media work. If you don't know, practice only what is called tolerance to what you don't understand. Now, to some people of us like me, I am new to self-defense. I did not endorse self-defense since the beginning of the struggle. During the beginning of the struggle, some people were already talking about self-defense. That after we will go up with diplomacy, with court case, with all this blah, 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 we shall come down to self-defense. It finally boils down to self-defense. Me, who was not there during the self-defense period, I cannot claim that I know more about those people that were there, which means that I cannot claim that my advice is great than the people that were already there. Now, for somebody who has never been in opposite, you just claim that you can go to opposite and you begin to teach a teacher in opposite? No! You cannot just leave from one and go to high school and start to teach a high school teacher. That cannot happen. Only us in Amazonia want to do this. I have never seen a portion where a first year student in the school of medicine want to advise the professor of medicine that have taught for 20 years. No, logically and practically, that is impossible. Some of us that have joined this struggle now, who are victims of not listening to advice from the people that have been practicing self-defense, have been telling us that, listen, be very careful because Cameroon government is very evil. And we have not taken to account such advice. And we have had our cabinet member all kidnapped. And then the same us that are still suffering as victims of not taking advice from people who already know how evil Cameroon government is. When we have not even yet proved to the world where our leaders are, we are moving forward to advise the people that we are advising us. This is not based on logistic, based on political science. We are making a big mistake. Those are the people to advise us. The people who can advise us are the people who we are advising us to take note that we have La Republican inside us, and those La Republican means business. And they finally did what they mean. They finally did their business, and today we are standing without a roadmap, without a constructive self-defense, without a constructive group, and we are fighting people who have a roadmap and have a constructive defense, and people who have been trying to advise us and we have not listened to their advice based on logistics. We need to understand that at some point, you might be a leader today, but tomorrow you will not be. In the revolution, we said certain things, and those things have caught us today. What am I talking about? When we dismiss Ivo and Mark in the struggle, why did some of us move? Because so many of you who did that act or who supported the act says that in the revolution, leaders emerge. That is why we move forward and say, yeah, leaders have emerged. When you dismiss Verla in the struggle, what did you say? You said that in the revolution, leaders emerge. Today, leaders are emerging, but you are spending your time to fight leaders that are emerging. So, you dismiss other leaders to climb, to emerge. The population acknowledge and accept it. Now, you come and use politics to brainwash the same population not to believe that some leaders can too also emerge. I want to be very frank and honest here at this time today. I am ready for any leader that is surfacing in the struggle and emerging in the struggle. I will help those leaders to emerge. Because I came to learn from us, from you people, that in the revolution, leaders emerge. But when it comes to leaders emerging and not us, we are fighting. Brothers and sisters, let us be real. Let us be very factual, because this revolution is ordained by God, and the God that ordained this revolution is watching us. And if we don't take care, the same God will throw his wrath upon us, and in the next 50 years, we shall be slaves, and our children will ask us the same question we are asking our grandfathers and grandparents and parents today. So with that said, with all the things that I've said, brothers and sisters, my fellow Amazonians, we should watch out what we say, listen, and think about the future before we say it. This is being very real and being factual today. Let us move forward. Let us go ahead and ask ourselves what have happened to our Dr. Common Sense, and pray to God that God should send the common sense back to Dr. Common Sense. Because those advisors that advise Kakuf to come to independent from the court case, the same advisors are using Sako very bigly and fatly. Because I will not imagine that the same common sense that I know, that I used to follow, that I used to see the things I saying, can stand in the media and say something without listening to them and come live. First of all, my trip to Buea, money. And later on come the next day when people must have spoken about that, and the only thing he says is to propose 10,000 and 5,000 to someone who brings in information about Ayos Sekou Tabi and cabinet. That is a laughing matter, because it exposes how weak the government is. Meaning that the government cannot even investigate something of that sort. So I think the Sakoma need to rethink and think and rethink and unlearn and relearn, because that is making us so much weak in front of La Republic. Not only weakening ourselves, not only looking weak in front of ourselves, but the Cameroon government. This is my point. My point is that it makes us look weak in front of Cameroon government. It makes us a laughing matter like Ekema today. Ekema has made a video blasting us. He made a video, tried to talk, and then he compact and brag and compact, and then he going. That is a sabotage. That is sacrilege. That is something that should not happen. Something should not happen. So we pray that Ekema should be arrested. We pray that that dream should be a reality in Jesus' name. So my fellow brothers and sisters who are here today, I want to thank all of you for listening to me today as I'm ending the talk show today. I want to tell you that Tuesday will be one of the amazing days in this struggle. This platform will be used by many groups on Tuesday. So as from 5 p.m. there will be a lot of talk shows on Tuesday. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe even from like 3 p.m. from 3 p.m. Amber time, there will be talk shows. There will be more than maybe 3 talk shows, 3 different talk shows in this platform on Tuesday. So all of you people should get ready. We want to lead a unity in this struggle. Some people believe that they can unite this thing, that this unity that has failed. Some people believe that we can unite. Some people believe that they can unite. So this platform will be for them to talk how we can unite. I don't know how we can do it. The way forward, how we are moving to that day where they want to go and reconcile and move forward. The platform will also be used to talk about the game changer, which is one important thing that I endorse in this platform is self-defense, because I care much about the people in the bushes. I care much about those in exile, those in the refugee camps, and those that have been killed, and those that La Republic is planning to kill. I care much about that. I care much about us preventing the genocide as much as possible, and only self-defense can do that. La Republic of Cameroon government was always coming with their military copter, with their jets. Since the ADF declared Amazonia as a no-go zone, since the Red Dragons of Tampang Ivo declared Amazonia as a no-fly zone, we have not seen military copters again. Because the Cameroon government knows what our self-defense forces carry today. They know that they carry something. They carry something on their shoulder. That thing they carry on their shoulder, that thing is Mame water. Some people don't know. That's water now water. That can put a jet down. And Cameroon government knows. That's why I'm telling you that we should stop making propagandas and fake conspiracies that look in front of some of us like, are we not worse than La Republic of Cameroon government? When we will now have to call Cameroon government to come and attack our own people? So we try to discredit the ADF for revealing that video that went viral. And then we try to say Cameroon government is on the way to come and attack us. So we try to invite Cameroon government to come and attack our people. I want to let you know that if Cameroon government can picture out where that place is some of us, only Amazonian can show it to Cameroon government. The Cameroon government don't know. That is why Americans lost the war in Vietnam, because they didn't know Vietnam. If they have won that war, only the Vietnamese people could have shown American the way forward. I'm telling you the truth. So we should not be calling Cameroon government to come and do that so that our lives can be matched. Understand? Consider the life of the people most important. Your lies and propaganda is not important than the life of the people. You want them to come and attack so that you can say, oh, AGC, yes, you brought the French journalists, the French TV, and the French TV. No, it is us who are inviting the Cameroon government to come and try. It is us who are doing that. So we should stop those things. We should know that when we start to do things to match our lies, it is going to hurt only the people on the ground. We should be very, very happy. So when they carry Mami Api, La Republic of Cameroon government already know that we have a lot of Mami Apis. And those Mami Apis are waiting for them. In fact, we have seen the dragons, the Red Dragons and the ADF forces are moving and hunting Cameroon government to see where the military copter will be. They are moving and hunting. They are hunting to see. They want to use it. They want to use those Mami Apis. They want to use them. They are hunting. They don't see. And here you are here trying to say they are coming. When the Red Dragons and the ADF forces are waiting for them in vain, they have waited for more than a month and they haven't seen. We should be very factual. Cameroon government have been killing us. So if they kill somebody now, it's not a new thing. They have done it. They have been doing it for the past 57 years. That is why we are in this struggle. Some of you don't know why we are in the struggle. We are in the struggle because the things that you are saying, they have done it. Those things are not new. Cameroon government can come and kill somebody in my village tomorrow. It doesn't mean that it's because they show it off. And when you start to do those things, people like me who don't want to talk about certain things, we now ask questions. What happened to 22nd of September 2017? When they come and we declared our people to go out to protest without the self-defense. Was it Ayaba and ADF and the Red Dragons? No. What happened on the 1st of October when we declared independence? Still the same people making the same mistakes that are very casual, that are very detrimental to our people. We don't want to revise this history. But there's something you cannot lie. History has already been created. History is going to remind us that during the Amazonian independence struggle, Ivo was fired, Ma Barretta was fired, and he did not give up. And Colonel Verla was the only person who stood and raised them up and stood with them and took all the sabotaging, all the castigating, and took all the insult on earth, but did not leave them. History will remember that Bala was fired and Colonel Verla was using the page and saying that Bala is not the enemy. That Bala is in the enemy camp and he cannot pronounce some words. That if people are sitting abroad, calling themselves the government of Amazonia, and they cannot use certain words, and the same people want Bala on the ground to use those words. You have people who cannot use words abroad in ACBC for professionalism. They cannot use self-defense. They cannot preach self-defense. They cannot endorse a self-defense. But they want Bala to stand on the ground and say independence. Is it not hypocrisy? This is the hypocrisy of first order, where we have a big shit in our pants, we have a big shit in our trousers, and we don't see. In our skirts, we have a big shit, and we don't see. And people are on the ground, and we want them to say words that even us abroad we don't say. We should pack fine. Let all of us pack fine, including me. We should pack fine in this struggle. It is ordained by God. We should stop making repeated mistakes, especially the same people repeated from day one. Repeated mistake when we came and surfaced in this struggle. Some people have been very focused and they stay in what they believe and they stand on it. They have not moved from one roadmap to another. They are still standing on the same roadmap. I, Colonel Verla, have moved from the Federation roadmap to independent roadmap, and I have moved from federation roadmap of diplomacy to independent roadmap. I cannot move from federation roadmap, which was a diplomacy, and come again to independent roadmap, and I keep doing diplomacy. Then I'm insane. It is called insanity. Doing the same thing over and over without result is insanity. So I have to move forward. When I move from federation, I have to change. Power have to change. Water now water. I have to go now to self-defense. That's why I change completely. When you want to become a born again with baptism, confirmation, Holy Communion, that's when you are called a born again. When you want to become a born again, you become a full born again. So I am praying that at the end of this video, let that history that Ekema was arrested be true. Let us pray that it should happen in Jesus' name. I want to acknowledge to the people of Amazonia. Everything about Ekema is fake. Everything about Ekema from day one has been fake. And no one can refuse this. Ekema's A-level, fake. Ekema's high school bachelor's degree, fake. Ekema's PhD, fake. Ekema's mayor's hood, fake. Ekema's everything, fake. Arrest of Ekema, fake. Everything about Ekema has been cursed. Everything about Ekema has been cursed. Everything about Ekema is fake. 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 Thanks to Iron Lady for this one. Fake everything about Ekema. And I want to say it again before I conclude. It does not mean that Foncha is supposed to be a saint. He's not supposed to be a saint. What we are saying is that he needs to understand that others can make mistakes. Others can make mistakes. So we need to practice tolerance. Know that whatever you give in will come back to you. When you tolerate people when they make mistakes, that will be given. If I and Mark Barretta were tolerated, I will not be speaking for the same year, always citing this. We should also know that even if they have made mistakes, which I don't see the mistake they did, which I don't see, without them the struggle could have died when Bala and Fontaine were arrested. They did the greatest thing in this struggle that need appreciation and not depreciation. Need appreciation and not suppression. Need appointment and not firing and dismissing. Need appointments and not marginalization. You cannot marginalize within marginalization. Based on logistic, you take the part of the enemy. When you marginalize within marginalization, you take the part of the enemy. So no matter whatever they have done, you should have considered the greatest thing that they did, which was to save the struggle from dying. So we understand that. And I also think that Ekema's wife may also be fake. That is the truth. If she was real, she could have sued Ekema when she went to America to give birth to Ekema's son. Ekema was moving and prostituting. She came back and she did not sue Ekema. She did not went to divorce court. She still continued to be sleeping with this guy. That is a bad guy on earth. Ekema's wife is a very beautiful woman. I want to acknowledge that. She could have left this man, this good man, and go and marry and divorce. She didn't. So everything about Ekema is fake. So this woman become fake. So everything about Ekema is fake. All the cars are fake. Everything is fake. So we should understand that. Even the house that he built is fake. That's why that house was torn down and that house was not, because everything about the house is fake. Look at his cars. The cars are fake. That's why they were able to bring down all the mirrors of those cars within some few minutes. Because everything about Ekema is fake. Even his stomach is fake. His head is fake. His nose is fake. Everything about Ekema, his height is fake. His stomach, you don't know whether the stomach is in between, central, or in the side. His pants, you don't know the type of pants that he wears. All his pants are always fake. He go and sleep with prostitutes, fake women. He sleep with fake women. So everything about Ekema is fake. No one can cancel that fact. So as I'm ending the talk show today, we should learn. We all are learning. We all have learned. In fact, we have learned to be very truthful. We should learn to be very factual. We should learn to understand that as a people, we can be more productive. We can be more acquiring. And we should be watch each other's back. Be brothers keeper. One for all and all for one. Let us know that the mistakes that others make, you can equally do that. Let us know that if we make a mistake today, do not castigate the people that made a mistake, because you yourself, you can make a mistake. When you go out ranting in media, know that other people too can rant. And we are not in a time where we are going to spend a lot of time correcting errors. We shall move forward. But let us understand that the greatest thing in this struggle at this point is self-defense. Fund self-defense to people whom you fund and they take all the money to self-defense. I'm tired of saying things like taking self-defense money to bribe people to show information. Even if they show us that our cabinet members are in Nigeria or in Chad or in Cameroon, it cannot help the struggle at this point. It cannot. Let us focus on what we bring them. Act, let the action bring them. If we bleed La Republic out of Amazonia, I'm telling you that they will produce where Seseko Ayo Tabi is. If we empower self-defense and have one day I'm telling you that if we have 5,000 soldiers, let me say this, maybe some people don't know this. I want to say it before I conclude. Cameroon government has only 6,000 soldiers. With the half-baked 600 soldiers that they baked from the school for 6 months, they have now equivalent of less than 7,000 soldiers. So Cameroon government have less than 7,000 soldiers. If we and all the 7,000 soldiers are spread all over Cameroon, which means that some are in Kolofata in north, in far north, fighting the Boko Haram right there. Some of them are in Ebolova, guarding that presidency, that palace that President Paul built in Sangmalima. Some of them more than 1,000 are in Etudi, guarding the presidency called presidential guards. So in Amazonia, not up to 3,000 soldiers are in Amazonia, which is half of all the soldiers that Cameroon government have. If we now build our self-defense and have 5,000 self-defense warriors and spread the 5,000 defense warriors all over Amazonia and then call a day, one day, we say a day of self-defense, that our people and our youth are ready. They did it on the 22nd of September 2017. They did it on the 1st of October 2017. Can we come out together and say that the 22nd of September 2018, that we should empower our self-defense forces? That during that day, our self-defense forces will come out. Or we should surprise Cameroon government with one day that they don't know. Surprise them with a day that they don't know. Let our self-defense forces all come out and put down all the terrorists they see. All the Republican vestiges they see. Our youth can do that. We can synergize and be one order's keeper and practice what is called the code of compliance, which is called the engagement laws and engagement codes. We can come down with the edges, with some communication codes that is used by CIA. We can develop our own communication code that each and every faction understand that communication code. That only Amazonian self-defense forms can understand communication code. The same code we shall be using in Facebook, I can put it. Ordinary people will not understand, but only the self-defense warriors will understand that code. I am already familiar with that code. I have studied it already. I know how it works. I have been able to communicate with one of the friends that is a CIA and one of the friends that work with United Nations, and they have used the same code in Central Africa. The same codes have been used in Central Africa. We will develop our own codes that are different from theirs, but something like that we can use to communicate within the self-defense platforms and milers. So we can do that, and then one day all counties arise. All counties, like what happened on the 22nd of September 2017, and all our self-defense forces will come and crack down all the brigades, all the commissioners, all the commissariats, and burn them down. We can win bigly and fatly, and our independence will be won that day. And we will erect our flag, sing our national anthem, address our heroes, address our generals, and give our general gallons, and put them as brigadier generals, and make them as colonels, lieutenant colonels, and give them the greatest award of a century. And all of them will be given golden medal for standing for this. All the warriors will be given golden medal in recognition for the independence. And all the people that have died will be given golden medal in recognition for this. And they will be, all of them will be issued certificate of heroes in this struggle. And on that day, there's a lot that's going to happen. We shall now completely secure the Mungu Bridge and put that Mungu Bridge down. We shall now seal Sonora and seal all the institutions of La Republic in our territory. We can do it as a people. Fund the Changshu soldiers, fund the self-defense forces, fund the Red Dragon if that's yours, fund the defense forces on the ground. Fund those defense forces. Fund the Changshu soldiers. Changshu soldiers have been doing amazing. We remember that they are the alpha of this struggle. We were the one who loved them when we were still believing in diplomacy that have not delivered. We were laughing at them, calling them Changshu soldiers. We call them all sorts of names. Say they have hunter guns. They have this type of guns. Today we have seen them with Kalashnikovs. Today we have seen them with rifles. And tomorrow you shall see them with boats. Tomorrow you shall see them dressed from head to toe like soldiers. Never give up is what I'm saying today. Never give up. Don't fight your own people. Don't put them down. Do not put them down. People of Amazonia, awake from their sleep and more forward. More forward as we are arriving at Buya. And God bless you all. And have a wonderful time in this struggle I will always come live whenever it is, be it impromptu like today, or I will announce. Everyone be ready in this platform on Tuesday. This platform will not rest on Tuesday. On Tuesday, you will see people entering this platform and going out. Talk shows will be ending, and after 30 minutes, another talk show will be starting, or the talk shows will be ending, and I will sit here, and on Tuesday, I'm ready to sit here 10 hours for the struggle. Because we have groups that will come and preach about unity. Some groups, how to do it, they have the project, and they will come and do it. The project, I don't know how the project is. I will only be here to anchor. And then I will be sitting again, and some group will come and talk about Lucas. I think Lucas will be coming to speak about Game Changer. And I think that the Iron Lady too will be coming in this platform to speak about the struggle. So I will sit here more than 10 hours. I have no problem. So long as my mobile is charged, so long as we are able to sit, I will be there. When it comes to Amazonia, I'm telling you that nothing can stop me. I can never get tired. I can never be exhausted. God bless each and everyone who heard that I was live today, and you come to listen to the state of affairs, how we should move forward. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Learn to be brother's keeper, one for all for one. Don't be backstabbers. When you achieve, don't use the achievement to sabotage others. When you achieve to arrest Ekema, don't use the arrest of Ekema to laugh at people who are not able to arrest, because at the end of the day, those people are also arresting, and when they arrest theirs, they don't use it to fight you. So do not castigate your people because of the success that you have achieved because of this struggle. God bless everyone, and have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful weekend. This is Colonel Verla, and we are ending the talk show today. God bless Amazonia, and Amazonia will be free. We never lost a battle. We have not lost any battle in our private life. And we pray also for all the people in Ground Zero. We pray that all the people in Ground Zero should have light. We pray that all the people in bushes should be protected from snakes, protected from all power of darkness. We pray that those people in jail, that is a temporal home, and they shall be back. They are only safe and secured. They will be back in Jesus' name. And those people in the refugee camp, they shall be back very soon in the freed Amazonia, in the freed nation. That everything will be on their destiny. That the milk and honey shall be for our children. When we talk about milk and honey, we mean our children shall have a breakthrough. They shall have jobs. They shall have money. They shall have financial, spiritual, and every breakthrough in their life. That's what we mean by milk and honey. Everything shall become soft for our generation and our children in Jesus' name. We pray that this independence is never ever going to fail. It is something that is already coming. We've seen colonial masters now singing the national anthem in English. First in history, you see governor of the Southern Zone, Okaila Bilai, with all the commissioners and all the generals, they stand up and sang the La Republican colonial national anthem in English. First in history, President Paul Biya speaking English. First in history. This is all because we are standing, never give up on the independence. And on the independence is a way forward. Don't listen to anything. Don't make any mistakes. Do not listen, and don't allow anyone to dialogue behind closed doors. Let anyone not try to dialogue behind the people, because we shall determine you, we shall discover you, and we shall expose you that we have exposed the Milan and the Scoopers. So God bless the revolution, and have a wonderful time. This Colonel Verla. Goodbye. It is my pledge, my loyalty, and respect to Amazonian revolution. God bless Amazonia. Shall live the revolution.
Held this land of glory, we the Amazonian, flesh and loyalty. Present souls and Savior, who died and brave, and let the souls of heroes who brought the land with their blood. Oh, may we rise and never to fall. In the midst, flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father, making you a nation and joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty till our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. You Most High God be the watchman of His nation.
Thank you, and God bless you. Short live the revolution. Long live Amazonia. This is Colonel Verla. Goodbye.